Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. And I want to do that through consistency and discipline. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody who's liked or commented any of my videos. And for those that have chosen to subscribe, I am truly grateful to anyone who's following me along with this journey. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I did start this as a way to hold myself accountable, and that is becoming more important now than ever before, just with the changes that I will see, at least initially for 2024. So if you all saw the video that I made previous to this, where I set my 2024 goals, then you know that I was anticipating a significant decrease in my paycheck, at least for, I'd say, through the end of January for right now, just through payroll deductions that I needed to make. It's neither here nor there. It is what it is at this point. But with that said, I'll see a significant decrease between now and the end of January, and hopefully that will be the end of that. I haven't figured the numbers to see that for sure, but then going forward, I'll still see a decrease because I was going to anticipate, or I needed to anticipate one anyway, because my bonus was going to be removed regardless. And so I was going to see a decrease regardless. It's just a little bit more, a lot more than what I initially anticipated. So I did log on to work today. Today is Thursday, December the 28th. I get paid on tomorrow, the 29th, which is Friday. I did go ahead and log on to my work site portal, and it is amazing to me, but what I prayed that I would have at least as a minimum available to cover my bills and to cover just basic expenses is exactly what I have. And so I am grateful for that. A lot of people might have logged into a portal today and they did not see what they needed to see, at least even from a minimum standpoint. So I am definitely grateful for what I have. And so we're going to go ahead and budget that now based on the plan that I initially put into place once I found out that I was going to see the decrease. So first and foremost, and let me flip this around. I do want to say I am using a little bit of a different digital planner. This one is from BreezyOrganization. I decided to go with this one, their catch-all planner, as my 2024 for right now, at least. It just overall worked better with me from a financial standpoint, as far as their finance sheet that's included in here, plus already having the connections with Google. As far as my maps was concerned, with my digital planning overall was definitely a plus as well. And I do like the personal or the daily page template that they're using as a standard or as a default. And so I'm kind of going with that. So anyway, I just wanted to say this digital planner that you're looking at is from BreezyOrganization. I think it's their catch-all planner is the one that I am using today. And so I did want to just show really quickly. So for I know this says January, and it's because I get my check on December the 29th, but I don't have any bills the 29th through the 31st. All of the bills that this is pretty much going to cover are the bills within the first couple of weeks of January. So basically from December the 29th through January the 11th. And so what you will see here, and we'll see if I can go in a little bit more. There you go. So what you see here, we've got mortgage, home, insurance, ring, and electricity as well at the first of the month. Nelnet, which is a student loan, last one that I have to worry about. I have bank fees that I pay on the 6th as well for a savings account that I have. And then I've got Verizon, and I've got the new Ally credit card amount that I have to pay. And this is the Ally credit card that I received, and it was 0% based on any purchases made during the month of November. There was a 0% interest associated with it, and you have 15 months to pay it off. And so I'm going to take care of the first payment for that one now in January. So those are all of the bills that we are going to cover with this particular check. And let me say this too, I think I'm actually including Discover in with that as well. So as I looked through the January, And I noticed that my second check is going to be January the 12th. We're going to cover the dates of January 12th through January the 25th. This is a pretty heavy, the middle of the month is always very heavy for me. So with the Bridgecrest, Green Sky, and Kohl's, plus also trying to save for my mortgage that will be due in February. I save up the month prior for those costs. And so knowing that, I knew that this middle check was going to be pretty heavy. So if I'm not mistaken, I took this Discover and I transitioned it over and have it covered with this December 29th check. So we will see in a minute. I think that's what I did. So we are about to see. All right, so let's go here. And so this check is going to cover, and I'll come out just a tad bit so you can see the whole screen. So this check is going to cover December the 29th through January the 11th. And like I said, we might have that Discover bill that's in here as well. So let me actually I'll move this over here on this side and move this over a little bit more. There you go. I think I'm ready now. So what am I looking at? So right now I'm going to be looking at, as far as income is concerned, the amount that's going into my bills account for bills is $1,175. Okay, and out of that 1,100, or before that gets deposited, I've already taken care of tithes, pet insurance, and car insurance, which are payroll deductions as well. So that 1,175 starts with those three things already taken care of. For variable expenses, I'm going to have $500 now that I'm going to use for variable expenses, and I have $500 rollover because I was already saving for my mortgage. And so this is December is considered technically a magic month. So $250 out of each check would cover my $715 mortgage amount. So I was saving, or had already saved, $250 from the checks that I received prior, December 1st and December 15th. So I still have that in my account for rollover. And then my son, Micah, is giving me $40, has given me $40 for his cell phone bill. So part of the plan that I worked out was not only reducing the amount that I am going to pay for Verizon by getting rid of one line that I had for a business account, and it really was an unnecessary line or cell phone, and I didn't have any, anything that I owed on it, didn't owe on the phone or anything like that. So I removed that. But along with that, I told my son that it is now up to him to pay his bill. So he gave me the $40 for his, and will continue to do that every month. So when I add that together, 1175, 500, 540, I am working with $2,215 for this particular check. All right. Next is my bills. Come in a little bit more. So for my bills, got those three already taken care of. My mortgage is going to be $715. I have $44 due for the home insurance, $10 for ring, and electric is $106, which is good. Nelnet $82, bank fee is $5. Verizon, usually that's $199. Now that's $165 as the reduction that I see in that bill. The credit card, Alley credit card minimum is $30. And for Discover, instead of paying the minimum, I always have to pay more than that because I have those balance transfers that I'm trying to handle. And although I want to do $300, it's safer for me to say $200 right now. And then once this period is over where they're taking out the additional amount, I should be able to then bump this back up and maybe even a little bit more. And so I'll stay kind of tight on the budget to make up for the additional $100 that I wasn't able to give here. So let's add all of these together. And these are all the fixed expenses that I have. So $715, $44, $10, $106, $82, $5, $165, $30, and $200, $13.57. Sorry for all of the shaking, but it is what it is at this point. So that's $13.57. And then let's say minus $22.15, at least $858. $858. All right. Then for variable expenses, I'm going to give myself basically $250 every week. Normally that's $320, but I was able to figure out a way to reduce that, and hopefully these numbers will work out well. So it'll be a total of $500 for this pay period that is going towards variable expenses, and that matches up with what I actually put in there was the $500 that you see up here. So basically I used to have 7 categories. I bumped that down to 5 categories, and now I'm down to 4. And so I tend to spend about $40 every week in gas. I bumped up my groceries to $130. I might need a little bit more, we'll see, which is why I still have a spend account here that says $50. This might have to help supplement the grocery bill, just depending on, you know, how things are going, what we're cooking, etc. We'll just see. And then for home, just to handle the household things that I might need, that's $30. And when you add all of this together, you should come up with $250. So 40, 130, 50, and 30. Yeah, $250. And so that's going to be the plan for week 1 and week 2 for this particular pay period. That would be a total of $500. And so I hope that this works out. And my hope is that not only giving myself the $250, but that I can actually save and have a lot more no spend days. And so that I can take some of this money and maybe roll it into some savings challenges. We will see. I can tell you that I'll be doing a bi-weekly budget check-in for the last 2 weeks. And I'll record that probably on Saturday. With that said, I was able to save quite a bit of money, and I saw a lot of no spend days in December, surprisingly. There is a little bit of buffer, a little bit of extra that's in that account right now, as far as my variable expenses are concerned, and I'm trying not to touch it unless there's some type of emergency that comes up. But with that said, I did also feel like there was a little bit of money that I could actually pull out. So what you'll see here in my jar is I have about $40. I felt comfortable enough pulling out of the variable expense account while still leaving the majority of it in there as a buffer, just in case these numbers don't work out for some reason. I might have a little extra, but I'm going to do my best not to spend that. So $500 for variable expenses. Let's subtract that from the $858, and that leaves me with $358. Okay. Next, I'm going to use, I would say, I'm going to use the $40 that I'm getting from Micah, and I'm going to put another $10 with it. And I'm going to use that to at least fund a few of my sinking funds, although I won't be able to put anything in my savings challenges right now other than the money that I showed you a minute ago that I'm saving for my variable expenses. And so I want to work with about $50 of this, and I just feel like I need to put something in these sinking funds. It's important to me to at least not get out of the habit. But I know that I don't have a lot to spend, and I need to hold on to as much as I can because you never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to say deductibles, 10, car maintenance, 10, household, 10. Property insurance is a little different. So property insurance, I used to put $75 automatically. I've stopped that automatic draft into that account for right now because of everything else that's going on. I have $150 currently in property insurance. Now my property insurance is paid up. I just paid it in December, so that covers me for 3 months, December, January, and February. I will get a bill in March. The bill is typically about $154. So I'm going to put $5 into property insurance. That gets me to $155. And then, so that makes sure that I can at least cover 1 month, the month of March, if for some reason I need to. So now, as we talked about before, I'm not expecting to see these large payroll deductions past January, but I'm still going to need some time to make up for all of the sinking funds and other places that I was supposed to be putting money into. So I don't know if I'll have the full $450 to pay for another 3 months in advance for my property insurance, but I do want to make sure I at least have 1 month covered, and then that'll give me time to still build up and get ready for April, maybe, to make that quarterly payment. So I'm going to do $5 there, so that's 35. What I say I wanted to do 15, so I'm going to do 10 for emergency, and I am going to take the other 5. And I'm going to put it in lawn. And the reason why is because I'm going to change this particular sinking fund to say lawn/trash. Because I think I'm going to have a trash bill come. That's usually about $54. You're paying it for 3 months. I think I paid it in, I cannot remember, but I think I paid it in November. So December, January, I'll probably get a bill in for February, I guess, is what I'm thinking. And so I might have it to pay in January. I'm not sure. So I want to keep putting a little bit towards this so that if I can get that $54, I'll take it out of Ally and put it into my bills account, and then make sure that I can cover the cost of that. We'll see. But that's where I think I'm going to put that extra 5. So I'm just going to do 5 in property insurance and do another 5 in this lawn/trash. 30, 40, so that makes my $50. Also, something else you might notice here is that I crossed out taxes. And so going forward, I'm not going to put anything else in here. My goal was to have $240. I'm pretty close. I'm at $229. And that is truly going to be enough. I try to put a little bit extra, but that should be enough to get my taxes done. So this isn't to pay taxes. It's more of a tax prep. And so I'm going to mark that one off as complete with it having $229 already in there. So you'll probably see this one grayed out going forward, just because I don't have to put any more money towards that one. All right, so that's $50. And again, I'm not counting anything that I'm able to save from variable expense spending, but I will use that money to supplement my savings accounts, and these buffers and investments are just going to have to hold for a while. All right, so that's another $50. So we had $358, $50 spent on sinking funds, and that leaves me with $308. All right, so I think that is it. The way that this particular form reads, I'm sorry, I know that's kind of small, but the way this particular form reads, you're basically coming up with your totals as you finish each particular section. So from my income, I've got the fixed expenses that I will definitely cover, to include Discover, although it is not due now. I am going to go ahead and take care of that one. And then I've got my variable expenses. My hope is that I will save some money from those variable expenses. It's going to be tight, and we'll see, but my hope is that I will save some money for that. We're going to contribute just to a few of our sinking funds for right now. I will use anything that we save from variable expenses to cover any savings. That leaves me right now saying that I am in the green by $308. And I really hope that that is true, because I'm going to hold on to that money, because I don't know if this $1175 that I should now expect for my bills account going forward, if that's going to be enough every single paycheck to cover the amounts that I need to. As we're working through January, we will see. But yeah, for right now, it looks like I've got $308 remaining, and we're going to work with that. At the end of the day, I think that is it. Okay. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.